Greetings. You're listening to the official Flourish Media podcast with Flourish Media founders Viviand Dr and Dr. Tracy Timberlake. Listen in for marketing training and development tips from two ladies called the leaders in luxury learning. Get the tea on building a scalable, investor-ready business from the world's most accessible, women-focused business funding organization.
Welcome back to the Flourish Media podcast. I'm Dr. Tracy Timberlake here with Viviand Dr. We are the co-founders of Flourish Media Conference, and Behind the Leaf. And today, in this episode, we want to talk about building credibility.
Oh, yeah.
Social proofing your business. Why? Why do we even want to do that?
You know what? Because I'm going to Google you. I'm gonna Google you. They're gonna Google you. You have Googled us. We look and find out things about people. And so for that reason, when you create social proof, success leaves tracks.
Yes.
As we say. And so those tracks are Googleable. And
They
should be. And so as you are preparing yourself to attend the Flourish Media Conference, we want to give you some, we'll say this is not Visibility 101.
No.
This is FMC 301.
Yes.
Okay. We're giving you some cheat code things here. So make sure that as you're thinking about your business, you practice your pitch, you've done the things, that you've started posting about what you plan to discuss, the messaging that you plan to share, the business that you plan to pitch on your social media. If there is an opportunity for you to highlight yourself or on podcasts or anything like that, make yourself visible.
Yes, because in the last episode, if you listen to that, I said the first time that you're telling your story or having these conversations should not be on our stage. Likewise, the first time that you are talking about yourself and bragging on the things that you've done and talking about this, not just the story, but really your business as a whole should also not be on our stage.
Yeah. And what you have the opportunity to do is that in your actual pitch deck, take a screenshot of all that social proof, the people who have purchased, the sales that you've had, the number of people or opportunities that you've had. Flourish Media and Behind the Leaf has been on many different publications. And when we are talking to these investors to convince them to attend Flourish Media Conference, we utilize all those things to say, we are legitimate. This is a very good group. And it is worth your time to be involved with us.
Yes. And then having that social proof is showcasing not just what you can say, but what you can actually show. Pictures, there's a reason why they say pictures are worth 1,000 words. It's because the pictures are going to declare something that you may be able to say it, but the potency of the picture itself is going to be more powerful.
Oh, yes. And this is something that you want to commit to throughout the Flourish Media Conference. So this is a 2-day conference. It's a Friday and Saturday, typically in Miami, Florida. We structure the day with lots of breaks throughout the day so that you can connect with the other women business owners who are attending, so that you can have conversations, have some drinks. We are big fans of mimosa and wine and all those things.
Libations.
Yes, indeed. Throughout the 2 days. And we want to encourage you to be relaxed and have conversations. And we would hope that you'd pick up your phone and say, hey, look at this thing I've done. Look at these things I've done. The pitch is one part of the segment, but there's so many other opportunities for you to connect with the other people who are attending the conference. And this is where you want to have solid social proof.
Solid social proof, because we were just on NBC. Viviand did an interview on NBC it aired today.
Yeah.
The time of this recording. And one of the coolest things that we were able to see is all of the conference footage that we had, right? So while Viviand was talking about the conference, to showcase the conference in video format and with pictures that was broadcast on television is much more powerful than just Viviand talking about something, because talking about it is theoretical. It's a concept. Yeah. When you can see it in real time and you're like, oh, that's what the conference looks like. Oh, that's how many followers you have. Oh, that's how many sales you've been able to garner in the last year. That it just adds fuel to the fire of why somebody would want to invest in your business.
For sure. And so there's a really interesting thing that happens when we ask women to brag on themselves. In our community, there's this strange resistance to being celebrated. And you must clap for yourself, sis. You must celebrate yourself. And the way that you can do that effectively in a business structure is ask for reviews.
Yes, because you can talk about yourself and sometimes it's very uncomfortable to do it. But when other people are talking about you, then you get to see yourself and what they're saying, but it also doesn't feel like, you're bragging on you. It's other people are doing it and then you're just highlighting what they've said.
Yeah. And so as you're listening to this podcast and you're preparing to be a part of the Behind the Leaf community, you're planning to attend Flourish Media Conference, I want you to be very intentional about communicating with your audience, your clients, the champions for your brand, and start to document them speaking well of you. Let me show you the different ways you can do this. You can start asking for Google reviews. Google My Business is a free resource that's available to every single business with an EIN number, and you can send that link to post a review to Google. I think Behind the Leaf and Flourish Media, we have over 50 positive Google reviews, and that's because we ask for them.
Yes.
I think that women business owners forget, or they are not aware of the responsibility of asking people, what is your experience with my brand?
Yeah. And most people, not because they have a bad experience, but most people aren't just going to think to themselves, let me leave a Google review. So you have to ask. And when you ask somebody, they're up to 50% more likely to do it.
Oh, yes, they're 50%. And there are statistics that show that there's a particular type of person who's going to leave a review, whether you do the service in the beginning or at the end. So as you're operating your business, start to ask the first day they become a client, ask them to post a review, because it's probably the happiest that they will be throughout the duration of your work together, and it gets it out of the way. And if not, ask several times throughout their experience with you as a brand. The second way that you can do this, if you're in person with your community, or if you're in an online environment, is that you can ask for UGC content. So UGC content, it stands for user generated content, and that is creating a contest or asking your audience to create content around your service and around your business. So if it's a product-based business, you might ask them, hey, when you have this, can you take a picture with it? If you are a service-based business, you can say, when you experience this service, can you take a picture and send it to me? That is also another way to have social proof.
Yeah. And that's fun for people too. People are always looking to showcase and to share what they're experiencing. So if they're using a product, it's just a very easy way to get some of those photos both on their social, but also on yours. So that's a really fun thing to do.
Yeah, and we take it up to the highest notch that there is video. So it's UGC content where the client or customer is creating a video for you. And that could be a reel, it could be a story, it could be a TikTok, whatever it might be. But start to ask for those things.
Ask, and that's the thing, is like most of us don't ask. We think that it's bothering people to ask them for a review. It's not. No. Most of your patrons and your customers and your clients, if they have a good experience, they do want to share it. Like if I'm reading a really good book, I'm going to want to share it. I may forget because it's not, front of mind, but if the author said, hey, can you review my book? Oh, absolutely, because I loved it. Yeah. They're willing to do it. Sometimes they just forget. Yeah. We're living lives,
We are living lives. And so when you're attending the Flourish Media Conference, this is an environment where we encourage you and we help you to practice bragging on yourself, not only because it is edifying to be validated, to let other people to see what you're doing, but you are setting an example for the other women who are in the community by them hearing the incredible things that you've been able to do. We have women in our community who have, number one, built and sold their businesses for millions of dollars, which is really exciting. We've had other women who have gone onto Shark Tank. You've seen them, and they've been closed deals with the actual sharks and been able to grow their businesses. We have women in our community who have started as grant winners. They attended the conference, won a micro grant, ended up being a part of our service, our clients, gone on to be on our board of directors. And from that board of directors have had incredible opportunities to grow themselves. And they are becoming more and more visible, which means you need to get comfortable being celebrated.
Comfortable being seen. It's a really interesting phenomenon that most of us want to be seen, and yet when given the opportunity, we shrink back from it. So really use the Flourish Media Conference to step into that version of yourself that knows that they want and also deserve to be seen for all of the amazing things that you've done and the amazing things that you're about to do.
Yes. And so as we are wrapping up this particular podcast, I do want to remind you that the Flourish Media Media Conference has been so helpful to our community because we actively invest in quality content.
Yeah.
This podcast is being brought to you, and shout out to Vanessa James, who's done,
Hi, DJ.
DJ, we love you, who's the intro for every single one of these podcasts, who's turned her voice into the voice that you hear on network TV. You hear her voice on all different types of commercials for cars and for all kinds of different things. She's a member of our board of directors, and we want to celebrate her for all the wonderful support that she's given us over all these years. But also, you'll notice that the women who really embrace what we talk about within Flourish Media, they understand that growth happens in collaboration, is because they're utilizing the content that they get at the Flourish Media
Oh my gosh. Yes. And that
Smart
we
ladies.
Intentionally create an environment that is easily Instagrammable, for lack of a better word, because we want you to take pictures in every place. We allow for you, even if you're not speaking on our stage, please get up there and take a picture as if you were. Please speak it into existence with a photograph. Grab a microphone. When nothing is in session, I'm like, grab a microphone, get on the stage, sit on there, look like you're talking to somebody.
Yes.
Be Oprah. Have an Oprah moment to yourself. Take those photographs. Take some video footage of you looking like you're speaking. On the stage. Take pictures with friends and people that you're meeting there. Take photos with the vendors. If you are a vendor, oh my gosh, if you are a vendor, take photos of everybody that comes by and buys a product.
Yes.
Can I get a photo for Instagram? Right? So utilize all of the different spaces at Flourish Media or at the conference specifically to get footage, because you could be using that for the entire year.
Oh, yes.
If you're smart.
We have people in our community who are very smart. They make sure that they attend the Flourish Media Conference and they come looking good, honey, looking cute, because they use those pictures for the whole year. And every year it delights both of us. We get so excited when we're like, oh, they use the photo.
Yes.
And guess what? They're in this magazine.
Yes.
They're on this podcast. They use it for their book that they publish. They've used this photo for and it brings us so much joy, you guys.
Yeah.
We envision a world where women find joy through entrepreneurship, and we do that because we know growth happens in collaboration. We are very clear on how much it costs to have a professional photographer, to have a professional video, and if we can help you in that way to eliminate that fee, that expense from you, then why wouldn't we want to do that? So if you're planning to be with us, you should be, and plan to be on camera. So join us, flourishmediaconference.com, and you can stay connected at Flourish Media Co. on all the things. Make sure that you check the show notes and every single one of these videos. We try and provide you with resources and links that can be helpful to you, the same way that we want to give you content that helps you to elevate your brand.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Behind the Leaf. Never miss an episode, and subscribe to the official Flourish Media podcast on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you for listening. If this podcast sparked your curiosity or made you think of a fellow creative who could really use these gems, share it and help them flourish too.